Hello friends, this is your friendly neighborhood Reza, and this video is the demo portion of my videos for the Under the Sea theme for June 2023 for my mini box that Beautometry sends out. The demos took long enough that I needed to separate them from the unboxing. So if you haven't seen the unboxing, the link will be down below in the description box. Go ahead and check it out. Or if you would rather see how I use the 3 plates in the box, here we go. And don't look any further. This is the video for you if you want that. So do please like this video, comment below what's your favorite thing, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy. Talk to you soon. Alright friends, this is the part where I ask you to please like this video, comment below, and also to subscribe. Click on the notification bell, make it solid so that you'll get all my notifications, including things like the live I just did tonight. I'll have a link to that live in the description box for this video so that you can catch it if you have not seen it yet. And I always love to see new subscribers and friends. Introduce yourself in the comment if you like. I really like to know your names. I know that some of times your handles on YouTube are not your names. Now, I'm working first with this candy skull plate that we have in the box. This is a clear film that this comes with, so do not be fooled. I have been fooled before. It was not fun. When I thought something was wrong. I mean, I only thought something was wrong for a few minutes because that's just the way it goes with, you know, when we've been stamping for a while, we understand that any actual issues were us not figuring out about the film that was on it. So I'm going to do a geometric theme with a couple of hit the bottle polishes that I have. And let's see, I've got a stamp, an ice cube stamper, and or I don't actually know what Beautometry calls them. And we've got some dots. Let's see how they came out. They're not the best dots, so let's see what would happen. This is one of my techniques. See what would happen if we clean this really well. If we see anything sticking to it, we can always grab the fibers with our lint roller. I use this lint roller because it's like see-through, and it's not really good for actual pet lint. We have 3 cats, and we know quality lint rollers when we see them. So that's the first step. Make sure that everything is off. No fibers, okay? And now I'm going to pull this again, except I'm going to let it sit there for a good 3 seconds. I'm going to cover the whole thing. Now, if this were less delicately etched, I probably wouldn't have to cover the whole thing. I think this particular one, Smartphone Zombie 9 milliliter, that is from a polish pickup, so that would be a special edition. You can't get that, but it is a good one, and maybe somebody will destash it someday. All right, now I'm ready. One single scrape, one over here. Let's click. Okay, did that go well? We shall see. Snap. Absolutely, this was the desired effect. For this effect, the next thing we need is a top coat that is quick drying. All right, got that cleaned off. We need a quick drying top coat, quick curing top coat, because we're going to use tape again. And nothing cures quite as quickly as Seche Vite in my experience, even though it does have toluene in it and it does smell pretty abhorrent. It gets the job done. So after I cover this in top coat, I'm going to let it sit for a minute, and then we're going to do the second half. Nope, the second of 3 things that we're going to do for this nail, and I think you'll like the way it turns out. So that's what we're doing with this plate, the candy skull plate. Now, you might ask me, what are we doing with the other plates? And I would say that is an excellent question. I'm going to go ahead and pull. I know that some people like to watch the film be pulled off on live TV, on live YouTubes. I can't usually get this when I'm wearing my gloves. And you show people your ugly fingers. Alright. Keep going, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. I might speed this up. Well, here we go. It took me to whatever that song is. 1, nothing's wrong with me. 2, nothing's wrong with me. 3, nothing's wrong with me. 4, nothing's wrong with me. That was the Here We Go. Every time I hear Here We Go, that's where I go. It's a good song for my walks when I get to taking them again. This is such a great plate. There's so many fun things you could do with it. And I'm going to do a couple of faster things with it. And here is my plate. I did not open or unwrap the other one because I am giving it away, as you might recall, this week. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do on this nail, these two, is I'm going to, I did not coat it with a base color. Usually I will use the lighter of the 3 or a white to coat with base color, but I'm going to guess because these are stamping polishes that they are quite, what's the word, opaque. So, okay. Normally, okay, that's the rare MoYou London lid that actually cooperates with me. Usually I have to take off the gold and work with this part. Anyway, so we're going to use, these are the sponges that Beautometry sells. Can I back up at all? Yeah. These are the sponges that Beautometry sells. And I want my glove back. I'm feeling very naked. Okay, so we are doing dark blue. Usually you need fewer layers with these kinds of sponges. We'll see if that's the way that works out. The brush isn't picking up much. It's a little irritating. All right. And now we've got our gray. And all of these are from Beautometry, of course. MoYou London released some DC plates that I think Beautometry already has on their site. I am working on some PR stuff for that, so keep an eye out. Since we're talking, maybe I'll speak in sea shanty language for a moment. Keep a weather eye out, sir. I should have a sea shanty soundtrack for this bit of nail art. I wish I were a little bit more technologically inclined. But I do this reapplication because I'm going to kind of mess with this one real quick. Make sure that I am covering all of it. You see how I'm moving around just very slightly, making sure that I have the edges. I'm not missing anything over here. Look, we've got a little bit of a miss here maybe. So I'm going to go ahead and give each of them another go round, and we should be done with this gradient. Today has been about gradients, a lot of gradients. So these two blues or blue greens came from this June My Mani box. There is description information. In the description, there's information how you would go about subscribing to the box. I don't know if you'll notice, but for the first go round, I kind of concentrated on the top. Now for the second go round, I really want to concentrate on the bottom to get the colors lined up a little better, because the gray really isn't showing up at all. So I'm going to see what I'm doing here. I may just have to do something manually, which is always my least favorite thing. Or it just might be a gray that really loves to be blended, and I couldn't do much about that if that's the case. Huh. This looks like this is how they want to be. So I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to top coat these with something that cures fast. You're going to be quick learners because, once again, we're going to use sash feet for the purpose of that. There are other like indie top coats that are more popular than sash feet that cure super fast, and I cannot afford them at this at the volume that I use, but I would love to. I would love to have them instead of sash feet. Anyway, so usually the gradient starts looking better after a top coat, not worse. So I'm going to take a moment alone with my polish to kind of dress it down. This is at the beginning, so I think I can just sort of apply it at the top. I have no idea why it's doing this. This could backfire on me. It could pick up more than it lays down. That's a little better. Okay. So maybe the sash feet isn't the way to go. Maybe the first thing I should use is the product from MoYou London. I do have one right here. And this is a no smudge from MoYou London. Also from Beautometry. And I'm just gonna kind of swipe that over. Wipe my brush between, just because it's safer to do that than not to do that. You don't want to put any blue or red or anything in your big brand new box of top coat, bottle of top coat. That would be really terrible. All right, so these two are done and ready to dry. And then I'll probably put the sash feet on them. Okay, we can now work with this one again. But instead of taping off this part, we're now going to tape off this part. And using the same color, we're going to use these lines here. So let's check out what we're doing. We're trying to work fast. This is newer polish, which means the tape can sometimes kind of backfire. But these are finely etched, so I do want to make sure that I let them sit for just a moment, like we had to with the dots. And I'm going to grab my stamper and scrape Oh, not loving it. But I'm going to do it anyway. So this is what we've got. And you might be wondering what I'm going to do next. Well, I'm going to grab a, you know what? Sometimes words just totally elude me. A wheel. It's not a steering wheel, but whatever it's called. Maybe if I had been singing sea shanties, I would remember what that was. Ugh. I hate my brain sometimes. Alright, so I'm going to grab one of these in this Davy Jones locker. It's a blue. There's a little bit of a shimmer to it, but it's a really, really versatile blue from Hit the Bottle. I use it all the time. Right, and now I'm going to swipe once, go back, see how that goes. I think it pretty much went the way I wanted it to. If you know any sea shanties, I would be happy to hear your favorite ones. I know that I won't let you do links in the comments or anything like that, but maybe you could just tell me the title and I could go look it up. I used to be in the Coast Guard Auxiliary when I was in college. I really like sailing. Haven't really had much opportunity to do it since. Used to sail on a lake. Alright, so it's been long enough that I am definitely going to have to use a sticky base coat. I'm going to set this plate aside since I'm done with it for now. Just for now. And we're going to go ahead and grab the sticky base coat. So and then I'll grab actually one of my fine brushes so that I can add some of the spikes back on, or spokes. All right. Looks really cool. This is the look I was going for. And I did want that bottom length spoke, whatever, to line up with that line. So I say we've got a success here for that plate. And that's what I was after. So I'll come right back with the plan for the other ones. Hello friends, I am back. The gradient has dried and I'm going to do something a little bit fancy for our second to last nails today. You see the scale pattern. I'm going to do this twice. And good pickup. All right. Clear that off and do it again. Right. One more. All right. So we've got two good pickups here. The next plan is to Some of you who know my reverse stamping technique will know that I cover this with a top coat so that while I'm painting, the design does not come up. I don't want to worry about any of that nonsense. So this is Wet n Wild clear nail protector. It keeps it nice and flexible, but it does protect the design. Big hint, it's not seeming to make a huge difference right this very second, but you generally don't want to overlap your brush strokes when you're laying out your design like this and covering it for the first layer. I usually use 2 or 3 layers because I tend to really mess up when reverse stamping, and I like to be able to use my fingernail to move the nail polish around, which is something you can do when you've used around 3 or 4 layers. But I understand why that might not be the choice for others. That's why I tell you why I do everything I do, so that you can make your own choices and experiment. So the other thing that we're doing on this is using silver on the bottom. You'll see where I'm going with this in a moment. So we're not going to use much, but I do want to keep track of how much room this takes up. Okay, gives me a good idea of what I should be doing. All right, I'm going to pull this off. You might be hearing my roommate yelling at a video game. Sorry about that. You know what? It doesn't really matter. Let's just grab this and put it down here. All right, so we've got some of these shell designs down here, and we're going to clean this off and do it again. I'm going to start at a different place though, I think. I have so many of these little cotton pads, but I put them in various places where I don't generally usually keep them, so it's been a bit of hide and seek today. Alright, so I'm just grabbing what I want here. Slanted just a little bit, and probably I needed a little bit more. And when you cut it off too soon at the bottom, you run into the problem of where you actually have to grab individual images here. That is a pain. I'm going to grab another star. Here we go. All right, we're taking away anything that's not a whole shape. So these partial shapes have got to go. There we go. And now we can use a little bit of sticky base coat and get this going. Where did I put my sticky base coat? Here we go. When you see where this is going, I think you'll like it. So, I'm gonna get something over here, maybe something over here. I don't quite know what I'm doing yet. And as you can probably see, I have started with some coloring on the last pair of nail tips. We're going in a really fun direction there. All right. Okay. Okay, so we've got this. We're gonna do just a quick little no smear over the silver shell shapes. No smear, no smear. This did come in one of my mani boxes from Beautometry. This no smear MoYou London top coat. Alright, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look down here and see how many overlap with the silver. So if I say here, that means probably I'm gonna fill in the first 3 or 4 levels with silver to obscure the shapes that I'm trying to obscure. So I'm gonna sit down and do that, or rather, why don't I come back when that's done and I'm ready to paste that, since this is just sort of an ideas place for us to talk about things from the box, because it's still an unboxing video. Okay friends, we are ready for this surgery, minor surgery, no anesthesia needed. I have added a little bit of texture. I don't know if you can see those white dots. I have a polish from Familiar Polish called Snowfall, but to me the white dots remind me of like oxygen underneath the sea, like little bubbles. Alright, or just undersea bubbles. I actually don't know whether they are oxygen or what. It's been a long time since I studied the oceans. My fun facts have abandoned me for the oceans. They are a great mystery to me. Alright, so we can wait just a minute for this to kind of get tacky. And we hope that we have done our job here. And let's go. Very strange texture. Probably it will be fixed with this is interesting. Probably it'll be fixed with a top coat. But this is really kind of weird. This has never happened to me before. Likely I did not let it dry enough. But here we are anyway. Things usually improve after you add a top coat. Now we're going to look at this one for comparison. Alright. Not quite as many textural problems on this one. Could have been a pickup error that I didn't notice. These things do happen. You'll be almost all the way through a project and then you'll realize that something has gone awry. And you'll have to make the decision whether you start over again or if you press on. This one has a sort of a mosaic look. But we're going to put top coat on it and see what happens. Sorry, that was my chair. I'm finally allowing myself to sit down. I'm going to top coat this. And I'll trim all that off camera. At the end, I'll show you a little picture of how everything turned out. This one gets more top coat because we really want to change that texture if we can. A lot of hands-on work when things go wrong for me, but I don't mind. All right, so there's that one. I wish I'd used a different gold now that had a higher contrast with the silver. They're kind of blending here. But that's alright. We live and we learn. Besides, I think the design itself does hold up. Anyway, so last but certainly not least, let's put this aside. We have these to play around with. And I'm going to grab a sponge and work with some colors. We're going to get some deep sea colors going on here. So we've got a Penelope Lou's Magical Pockets, whoops, sorry, polish. And go ahead and sponge that a little bit, various places. Need a little bit more. Sponge that. Alright, now I'm going to work with this was that coat on the bottom, by the way. It's like a green and purple shimmer. Very kind of translucent. Alright, let's go with this mixture. I'm going to mix 3 of these stamping polishes together and see what happens on the sponge. Right, so put a little bit here, a little bit here, add over here. I don't know if you can see. It'll look better at the end when everything is top coated, of course. I know I'm talking like top coat fixes everything, but it really kind of does sometimes. Alright, here's another little bit. And now I'm giving it a little bit of a shine down with a place with no polish on the sponge. Just want to get a little bit of the color off. And then we're going to go ahead and put on a hollow kind of an effect. Here's some hollow. It's not a strong hollow, but it is as hollow as I've got right here. So what we're doing with these, since we've got some mystical undersea colors, is we're finally going to deal with the elephant in the room, which is mermaids. We want some mermaid stuff. And you know what we're gonna get? We're gonna get a little bit of a plant and a little bit of a mermaid tail. And that is, I know a lot of people with nails about this long, and that is a really good, fun kind of an idea. When I'm ready to stamp those, I will come back and show you what I do. Alright, we are ready to get this going. First thing is we need a little vegetation at the bottom of the sea. So I'm going to grab this with a green that is truly amazing, in a pickle by Hit the Bottle. And there we go. Nice and easy. We're going to do this again with a little bit of different vegetation. We're gonna add the other one back in there though. I really do like the other one. Let me grab. I never can get my card to pick up the little bits. Tape is so convenient. So we need more. I'm gonna grab some of this so that we get more. All right, we've got the full image now. That should work. All right, now we have got, looks like that wasn't quite dry. Can't tell if you see, but I've got a little bit of squish there. Looks like I am dealing with a patience problem. This is pretty common for me when I am, you know, working with plates and trying to add things to an unboxing that are maybe not the best idea. Okay, so this is the fun part of my idea. I'm gonna get this maroony color. What's it called? Partners in Wine. And that's for the base of the... It did not pick up. So this means I need a new cotton pad. I've been using one cotton pad for a long time, so. All right. We've got me thinking maybe I might need to do my freezer trick in a minute here, but probably not. It's probably just growing pains for a new plate. And go. And go. Here we go. So we're gonna see the mermaids swimming away from us. So they go up there. We're just getting literally the tail end of that mermaid. And then we're gonna do a contrasting outline. Here's the outline. And I think that is Champagne Shifter from Hit the Bottle. Again, I do apologize if my roommate is cursing at his video game. He knows I'm filming, but sometimes he gets a little overwhelmed. All right. There we go. And we've got our mermaid rising up, even with the short nails. You see, there are all sorts of things that we can do when our nails aren't long, or when we're wearing falsies that are short, aka much more manageable in our lives. Next one I'm going to do is this one here. So I'm going to take the champagne color and swipe, and swipe. We got this. It's not the best, but it will work. And the outline will be in this deep, deep wine. This one is, oh look, it's wine 30. Every time I use this stamping polish, red wine starts going through my head. I don't know why. I'm broken. All right. You'll be probably ready to see the last of me when this is over. But I hope the long video is worth the inspiration. So we've got, trying to manage that. I think I have managed that. Wow. Okay, so I'm real happy with these. So the unboxing thumbnail will have all of these finished. And hopefully you will have a good idea of what to do with your box, or some ideas. Do remember, like, comment, subscribe. The comments really help me out. Let me know what works for you, what doesn't. If you want to see some more things from me, like specifically what you'd like me to address in my videos. I do still have that fairy video coming out as soon as I can make it come. And yeah, I really did though. I hope you like this unboxing that turned into a demo. Tell me if you like the format, or if you'd like me to keep it just a naked unboxing. And thank you for joining me. You have an awesome day, and go make some art.